Hey fellas, this episode of the Spurs News podcast is brought to you by our favourite producers of board trimmers, Manscaped. Join the global leaders in below the waist grooming in leaving 2021 behind and entering 2022 with a clear mind and clean balls. And special offer alert, use the code SNPOD, so SN for Spurs News, SNPOD for 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com. 4 million men already trust Manscaped. Time to join them.
You're listening to the Spurs News Christmas Special. Now please, welcome your hosts.
Hello everybody and welcome to the Spurs News Podcast Christmas Special. I am Sam, sadly sober, and joining me, also sober, it's Matt.
Ho ho ho, yeah, it's a bit early in the morning, mate, and it's a bit tricky.
It is, yeah. You know, like you make all these plans and you're sort of like, hey, we could do this, we could do that, and then it gets to that week before Christmas and other people in our lives go, you're doing this, you're doing that. So we're recording this when we can.
Okay, yeah. And it's not drinking time.
Yeah, it is not drinking time. Well, any time could be drinking time, but I think people would say we have a problem.
Yeah, and do you know
if it's 9 a.m.
I was going to say we should have recorded in an airport, then we could have drank at 9 a.m.
Yeah, exactly. People seem to be okay with that. I mean, I never. Well, to be honest with you, you ain't getting me on a plane sober, so I'm not a good flyer, man. I really am not. No, I'm terrible. And I can't. Like, it's one of those things. It's so stupid. It's like. It's illogical. Like, it's safe. I know it's safe. People fly. I know people who have been like cabin crew. They fly like 5-6 times a day. Like I would just jump in a car. But no, I'm not a good flyer.
Do you know what? If I can psychologically analyse why you're not a good flyer,
please do. Yes.
I think the reason why is
You're about to say the word control. You're not the first person to make this astute observation about
I was going to say, yeah, in the time I've known you, you like to be in a lot of control, and that gets taken away from you when you're on an aeroplane.
Yeah, and also, I don't trust none of them pilot buggers. I mean, God, one of them's having a bad day, and bang, you're in a mountain. I mean, what's that about?
Yeah, but Sam, that was only once, mate.
Yeah.
It's not like they
get
depressed pilots every day. Like.
It's funny, like my family say to me, like anytime there's anything to do with an airplane, like something happens, there's a crash somewhere in the world, or like even one has a dodgy landing, my family generally go, oh, there's another 5 years like Sam getting on a plane. Like, no, that's set me back again, people. It ain't happening.
Do you know what I know must have set you back? The other day, Seb's going through this period with his age where I don't know if he was the same with Phoebe, where he's just asking really sort of profound questions, like ones that you're like, he wants an immediate answer, and I'm like, that's such a massive question. And funny enough, when we was on the way to the football on the weekend, he said, Dad, what do you think the biggest mystery ever is, like, in the world? What do you think? I'm like, give me a bit of time to think about it. But then he went, what's yours then? And I was trying to buy myself some time. He said, I think it was that Malaysian airline. He said, what happened? And I'm like, yeah, there you go, that's my one.
That's a decent. What's the biggest? Oh, see, that opens up a rabbit hole for me, because I love conspiracy theories. I don't believe them, but I love them. Yeah, like you read some and you're like, that is so well thought out. It's mental, but you have found a way to evidence this absolute batshit theory, and I love that. Yeah, my favourite one, my absolute favourite one that I discovered very recently. And I'm going to find the guy's name because anyone listening might find this funny to look this up as well. Have you ever heard of a United States explorer called Richard Byrd, spelled B-Y-R-D?
Never.
Okay, this guy was US military in World War II and then became an Arctic explorer after that. In 1947, he returned with a report of an area of the Arctic. And in that report got redacted immediately. He got retired with vast sums of money and put under a governmental gagging order. And not long afterwards, a treaty was signed between a bunch of countries like the USSR and the USA who basically didn't agree on anything. That particular area that this guy explored was now a no-go zone for planes for anybody. And to this day, you even try to fly a drone over this area, you're dead meat. you are not allowed. Satellite imaging, nothing. You are not allowed. This area is off limits. And this treaty exists to this day, and the guy's son found a diary of his after he'd passed away where he catalogues that he found another race of humans living under the snow that had been there for thousands of years, and when he reported it back, all the other countries of the world just took over like diplomatic relations and have kept it a secret.
Wow.
I mean, that's mental.
Yeah, why have they got to be hidden? Like, are they aliens?
But what an interesting conspiracy theory. And, but it's like, that's mental. But it does track. This guy is a real guy. He was there in 1947. That is real. His report was redacted. That is real. And the fact this treaty was signed not long afterwards by a bunch of countries who do hate each other, then especially, now probably still, and it is still in force. So it's almost like no matter what differences these countries have got with each other, this is more important. It's kind of like, I hate you, I want to nuke you, but whoa, we have to keep that quiet. Yeah, agreed.
That's absolutely mental.
So it's mental. So yeah, I love that one. That's a good one. I'd love to know what that is. Of course, it's probably something really dull. Like you just got there and there's like evidence of global warming, and they all went, "Oh, keep that quiet."
Yeah. Or do you know what I was thinking? Bringing it back to Spurs, maybe it's a secret as to why we, no matter what we do, we can't seem to win a trophy.
No,
don't tell them.
Yeah, maybe they found Sol Campbell's dignity there. Who knows? One of the greatest mysteries. How did that man ever?
Does he have any? Does he? Can't be.
No. Someone forwarded me a thing of him recently where he was talking about his career. Right. The guy's got a really interesting opinion on, or a really interesting take on his. Look, this is stupid. He was a good player, but his version of his football brain, like his opinion of why he's phenomenal. I mean, the guy was coaching Southend not that long ago. And
they got relegated,
atrocious.
Didn't they?
Yeah, like atrocious to the point that club's pretty much ruined now. He destroyed them. He's not got a job in it. He claims that's because he's black. I think it's because he's an asshole. Yeah. Who knows? If you had little column A?
I was going to say, if you had this amazing football brain that he claims he has, it genuinely wouldn't make a freaking difference what colour skin you had. It really wouldn't.
No, not at all. It really doesn't. I mean, don't get me wrong. I know systemic racism exists.
Oh no, I understand.
We know that, but when it comes to that guy, he's such a high-profile football player, and it is such an old boys' club with coaching and stuff like that. Like, you played for us, therefore now you're a coach. That's how it works. It just seems bizarre that people work with that guy. And I did see something because Southend wasn't his first job. There was a club before. And he left after like so many weeks. I think Notts County.
When he played for them, he played for one game, didn't he? Yeah.
And someone there just basically said, why did we ever think we could trust this guy given his history? It's like, yes, that is a valid question. Yeah. But anyway, I don't want to talk about that particular asshat on our Christmas special. So for everybody listening, this is our Christmas special. Ho ho ho. That does mean we have some games to play. Last week on the show, people suggested we name our top 3 players of all time, Tottenham top 3 players. So we've done that. Another person suggested we name one player from every team in the Premier League that we would sign with a max buy price of 40 million. We haven't compared lists, so I think that's going to be kind of fun to see how many of them we've done the same. I'm going to say on some of them, the 40 million price tag could be a debate. But I am ready to fight my corner.
Yeah. Do you know what? I thought I'm not going to overthink it. I'm just going to go fairly cheap with them all, and so I'm nowhere near that 40 million price tag.
Oh, okay. Well, we're going to have fun with it. Anyway. Yeah. We also have the return of the squad number game, which is the game that made Stefan sort of scream at me, so I'm hoping I can do the same with you. We're then going to take the fan questions across social media, and then we're done. That's it for the Christmas special. But we are going to open actually talking about a football match, which is very strange on the Spurs News podcast, I grant you. Tottenham played Liverpool. Liverpool had a few players out with COVID. We still had a couple out with COVID. But the game went ahead, thank goodness. You managed to attend the game, which I think was a little bit of kind of, should I stay or should I go? And based on the stadium capacity, I'd say a lot of people had that thinking as well.
Yeah.
But I think you're very glad you went, aren't you, my friend?
I can't remember in living memory coming away from a draw and being that buzzing about it afterwards.
Draws are always kind of like, unless you grab a last minute equaliser to make it a draw, I think you kind of walk away from that a little bit buzzing, and then it kind of sinks in like, yeah, it wasn't actually that good a result, was it?
Yeah, but I said to Seb after the game that if you're gonna draw a game, you always want to be the team that equalises. That always makes you feel more buzzing than the team that were winning. But I can imagine. Well, Gary Neville was a neutral. And he said it was one of the best games he's ever seen. So as a neutral, it must have been amazing. But as a fan, it was amazing as well.
I was going to say, I think the basic gist I'm getting is Liverpool fans hated it. Yeah. Tottenham fans were like, "This is fun again. Yes, this is great." And neutrals loved it, man. I mean, I genuinely, like, my phone was busy with people just going, "This game's mad. This game's got everything."
Yeah, sure.
So yeah, I think neutrals loved it. I mean, I had a few moments in the game where I was like, oh no, oh no. So let's open up with the controversy straight away. Jurgen Klopp, he's an asshole. How do you feel about him? Because when he was in Dortmund and I didn't have to see him week in, week out, I kind of liked him. I kind of thought, oh yeah, he's like, a bit of a character. I like characters in the game. He came to Liverpool. I thought, oh, he'll be fun in the Premier League. And he's fun when he's winning.
Yeah,
the guy becomes an intolerable asshole the minute like anything that goes. And you kind of like go, I can completely understand why Liverpool fans love him.
Yeah,
like I get it because he's their asshole, and that's fine. But man, he does my head in.
We should rename him Jurgen Wenger, shouldn't we?
Yeah, you're not far wrong with that, actually.
But look, okay. So it's quite funny as well. I don't know if you noticed this, but he had a very patronising way of patting Conte on the head.
Yes, yeah, that. But you see, the thing is that Conte is when he was at Chelsea, he kind of went under the radar with me. Like they did well under him and stuff like that, but I never really paid much attention to it. He wasn't like a Mourinho where he managed to force himself, or like a Klopp. He wasn't fighting someone on the touchline. He was very passionate on the touchline, and we're seeing that, definitely.
Yes.
But he wouldn't like squaring off with people. He wasn't in the news for being an ass all the time. So I guess he just went under the radar, and then Chelsea did what Chelsea does and bombed him out, and off he went, and that was it. But one of the things I'm finding with, he is very cutting in his interviews. Like, every now and again, like, a line will just go in. And, like, yesterday, he got asked by a German journalist, or after the Liverpool game, sorry, he got asked by a German journalist, what did you think about Jurgen Klopp saying that all Tottenham did was kick it long and get Son and Kane on their bikes? And he literally laughed and went, he's so funny when he doesn't win. And that's it. That was all he said, and took the next question. And, like, I mean, you got to realise that he's speaking not his native language. So not only has he mastered English to the level that he can nail people with a little idiom, but he did that. That's beautiful. That was just perfect. Just like, he's funny. Like, I'm not even going to dignify that. I'm just going to, he's funny, and move on. Just a total bitch slap. And Klopp afterwards basically insinuating quite heavily to the print media that he felt that Tottenham had overestimated the COVID problem. I mean, geez,
that's not right, is it? That's not right.
You draw a game of football, and one of the things I don't understand about Klopp in this, and I got to be honest with you, I have seen managers lose it after games at referees and stuff, and every time that happens, they get a rollicking, they get a fine, or like a touchline ban or something. And I think a lot of the time I look at it and go, oh, come on, it was in the heat of the moment, but yeah, right, that's the rules. You can't do that because you are setting an example for every kid watching on TV. For football as a whole in this country, if kids see it happening in the Premier League, they mimic it. And that's why you're trying to say to them, like, don't behave like this. So Klopp goes onto the field and has a go at the referee on camera. You can lip read what he says to him, and it isn't nice. He then doubles down to the media, as in post-match interviews, so on TV live. He then does it to the print media, and the FA the following day have said, yeah, we're not going to take any action, it's fine.
It's frustrating.
I don't get that. I remember Pochettino having an argument with the referee and book being thrown at him. I mean, if the rules changed, I mean, a lot of Liverpool fans are pointing at Pep Guardiola, an incident I genuinely don't know nothing about. But if it was the same as that, then Pep the same. Anyone who does that, like if our manager did it, I'd be saying the same thing, which is, I understand why he was annoyed, but you can't do it. You know, if a player goes up to the referee in the game and says you're a cheating son of a bitch, that player's going.
Yeah, that's what he did basically, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's exactly what he did. He just said, you don't know football, you've cheated me again. Like, you can lip read what he says to him, and he calls him a pretty rude word. And, yeah, I don't get that. I don't understand that. And I don't think... Again, it almost feels like if the Brentford manager did that, that guy's gone. You know,
completely.
It just, if you're one of the top players, I know we could possibly be in that bracket for that. I'm just saying, it doesn't feel right to me.
Yeah, you're right. Do you know, I was going to ask you actually, Sam, as well.
Yeah.
You know, obviously we're talking about Conte, and I love it now when the social media team released the Conte camp footage. It's like, right, I've got one for you, right? Okay, you have to make a decision. Okay, so next month it's the North London derby, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We win 4-0. Okay. You're only allowed to watch one of the two options. Okay. You're only allowed to watch Conte Cam or Arsenal Fan TV. Which one do you choose?
That's tough. I'd go Conte Cam,
Would you?
To be honest with you. Yeah. The main reason being, I've seen Arsenal fans meltdown before. It's nothing new. The Conte Cam every week's a delight. To be honest with you.
God.
His goal reactions just get me. His reaction to us leveling the game after going 2-1 down was like something. I mean, the guy was ready to explode.
Do you know what I love, right? Because so when the first goal went in, Harry Kane scored, and we all went mental. We just, like I say to all this, and everyone knows who goes to games, you just reach for whoever's next to you, and just everyone's jumping on each other. And what I loved incidentally as well was the fact Kane celebrated. I know obviously there was no fans last season, but that was the old Kane. That celebration was when he scored that goal against Arsenal, and he took his protective glasses off, and he
I remember.
that brought back so many great memories. I didn't obviously see that live because I was too busy going mental. But what I love is when Sonny scored the equaliser. So obviously we've all got, and I'll say as well, what I actually loved about the second goal was I've looked. So the guy to my left, the guy, the season ticket holder, wasn't there, but there was the guy next to him. I sometimes chat to. Well, I don't actually chat to because he's kind of one ahead. So I kind of say hello and that. But when someone's like one or two seats next to you, you can't sort of reach over and chat.
Yeah,
but because
you just nod.
Yeah, but because the guy directly next to me wasn't at the game, so I was chatting to the one next to him basically. So when the second goal got in, we've just hugged each other, like, and then I've looked over to Seb, and he was just standing there, just absolutely, like he was emotion overload, and he looked like he didn't know what to do, like he was just completely just overall with just buzzing, like, you know, and I picked him up. But when you watch Conte Cam, I always find it quite interesting because you look behind him and the fans are celebrating, but they're not going as mental as we came in. But Conte is doing what we were doing in the stands.
Conte in the south stands what you like a blood brothers, basically.
It really would be.
He lives it. I mean, he literally invests everything, and I think that translates to the players because they gave everything, and it's the first time a number of those players on that pitch have done that for us, you know, in quite some time. Before the game, I saw the midfield, and I think I put in our chat just like, that really makes me nervous.
Yeah, I asked you why.
You said to me, like, why? I was like, well, the last time I saw this midfield, we got destroyed by Arsenal. They just ran through us. The other two times I've seen a combination of this midfield, but with like one different, we've lost. Like these guys haven't done anything this season, and it genuinely made me nervous. Like, we're missing Skip, missing Højbjerg. No one was going to fight, and I was terrified of that. And I was like, against Liverpool, you can't let them run through you because they're going to destroy us. And in the opening 2 minutes, they cut us open like 3 times. I think I was like, oh no, this is going to be awful. Come on, guys, please, someone put some effort in. And almost like as I said that, the whole team in sort of like one breath were like, nope, not going to happen, no more. And everyone put in a shift beyond measure. I have not seen Harry Winks look that confident in a game in years. Like, he just grew and grew into that game. So by the end of it, I think Winks got voted man of the match.
He did, yeah.
He was great. I mean, the amount of abuse that guy gets from our fans, to see everyone universally go, yeah, he was good. Dele ran himself into the ground. That save by their keeper when Dele, I mean, oh.
We was just standing there in the stands and we were like, because obviously,
how did he miss?
Yeah, because I was obviously sitting in the south, and that's the goal at the south. So I was just standing there looking at Dele, and you can see it obviously on the footage on TV, but he was just kind of like looking like, I don't know how I missed that. And then when they give a corner, you're like, hang on, he saved it. How?
I actually wrote it in the chat for you because I thought there's no way people in the stands realised that was saved.
It was.
You're thinking it must have been a weird deflection I missed, because there's no way the keeper saved that. He did. That was a great save.
Yeah.
But I think in the studio someone said, and it is valid. Jermaine Defoe, I think it was, said Dele Alli confidently would hit that the other side. Dele Alli confident would allow that to come across him, and the keeper wouldn't have a chance.
Yeah, sure.
And they're right. Dele is not confident right now, but wow, again, by the end of the game, by the time he left the field, you could see him looking more like, oh, this is what happens. This is, when I do this is the level I can hit.
I don't know if you picked it up. I was going to say, sorry, Sam. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I don't know if you picked it up on when you was watching it on TV, but we were singing the old Dele song as well when he came off.
Nice.
And I haven't heard that being sung in a long time.
No, I didn't. But I just, to be honest with you, it's one of those games. Like, I don't think I heard anything. I was just like intently watching everything. I don't think we can let it go without talking about it, because it's what everyone wants to talk about. The red cards. Well, one red card, one question mark. Harry Kane. What do you think? Have you seen it back?
Yeah, of course.
Obviously, you saw it live. You've now seen a replay. What do you think?
It's one of those ones, mate, isn't it, where I think if you're a Liverpool fan, you're like, that it's just outrageous that's not been given a red card. But as a Spurs fan, you're like, just a little tickle.
Yeah, no, I looked at it, and in live play, the referee booked him straight away, and I was like, yeah, that was a dumb challenge. And they showed the replay, and I went, oh no, he's gone. And I was just like, that's gone. You see that all the time, he's gone. And then he went, okay, VAR check over. I was like, oh, we got away with that. And I genuinely believe that. I do genuinely believe we got away with it.
Sorry, Sam, do you think that, you were saying about how Klopp got away with criticising the referee, and you wonder it's because he's the manager of Liverpool. Do you think Kane got away with it because he's the England captain?
Well, it's an interesting debate, because there's something that's gone on about all over social media. I mean, people have made it a race thing as well, which is really like, wow, how have you escalated it to that? This is bonkers. But they have. I mean, one guy, Liverpool fan, tweeted to his big following that it's all down to white supremacy.
Yeah, but hang on a minute.
Leader.
Everyone that was involved in both red cards were white, weren't they?
Yeah. No, don't get me wrong, mate. There's no logic to this. I'm just telling you what was going on social media, and I was just like, what the hell? It should have been a red card. That's my opinion. I think a lot of people probably hold that opinion, but that's kind of something that happens. I remember not that long ago, Robertson nearly broke Tanganga's leg and got booked. And when everybody watched it back, they went, that's a red card. How in the hell was that not a red card? This happens in football. I don't think it's a conspiracy, but the thing is, it's human nature though. There are some players that when they go in for a challenge like that, the referee thinks, oh, he's a dirty bastard, I'm going to send him off. Whereas with Harry Kane, I think the vast majority of games Harry Kane plays, I don't think, he isn't a player that a referee is going to associate with doing that maliciously. So the referees thought that was like Harry, yellow, boom. And do you see what I mean? That's kind of that's a thing. That's a kind of, whether that's right or wrong, that is a human nature thing. I think Roy Keane back in the day makes that challenge. Roy Keane's already walking down the tunnel because he knows what comes next.
Yeah, sure.
So yeah, I think there's an element of that. So I don't think it's cheating. I don't think it's a bias for him being white. I don't think it's a bias for him being the England captain. Not a conscious one, anyway. You at least I don't think it is.
It's fun.
Yeah.
I know it's this debate that goes on and on and on with VAR and the kind of the subjectiveness versus the objectiveness, and unfortunately with that with incidents like that, I mean, okay, so the ref. It's one of those ones where in real time the ref's obviously seen what's happened and thought yellow card, and then the VAR have got the luxury of slow motion.
Yeah.
But again, they're just it's like it's like I say, it's the old rehashed argument. I get that, but like with a handball, for example, or with an offside, that's it. You can draw the lines, and that's it, black and white. But it's always gonna VAR's beneficial in a lot of ways, but you just wonder with this, almost like kind of what difference has it made? Like the referee's seen it. I don't know. It's really difficult. And I look, as a Spurs fan, of course we're going to have a bias. Of course we're going to be glad that he didn't get sent off.
Yeah.
But then you look at the two. You look at Robertson's as well, and they both were red cards, really, weren't they?
They are.
In the cold light of day, they were both red cards. So VAR hasn't really worked, has it? On this game.
It's a difficult thing with the VAR, and it does. The whole idea of it was it's supposed to clean this up, but the reality is, and it's right. Referees have said the problem is when you slow down any challenge, it looks worse. And then the more you look at it, the more your brain will convince yourself, wow, that was bad. But when you watch it in real time, the ball was there to be won. Kane has slid for the ball; it's there to be won. And the guy has took the ball away and then leapt, and like a lot of people are saying, if he stayed on the ground, it would have been a red. Or maybe I don't know, but the situation as it happened in real time, the referee thought that was late, yellow. His studs were up. That is what I think makes it a red, in my opinion. But it's done now, and I don't get the kind of the media attack. Like I have an issue with Kane. That's well. First, I'm parking that. I don't understand the way the media treat him. Like, you've got fans online saying because he's the England captain, he's getting preferential treatment. I don't remember the media ever dragging any other player in front of a camera live and making them watch him challenge for the ball and call him a cheat like they did with him like a year or so ago when there was all that controversy saying he was backing into people and stuff like that. And I don't remember them ever doing what they did to him again this weekend, which is show it to him and go, why weren't you sent off?
Yeah.
It's a nonsense because he's the England captain. He's actually being held to a higher standard, and that's fine by me. I think that's fine. You are England captain. You should be held to a high standard. But I don't get the narrative that he got let off because of it. I think that's a nonsense. By the way, also Liverpool fans in person, a lot of people talk about how great they are and how much fun they are. Liverpool fans online are a next level of batshit.
Yeah.
They really are. Yeah. Like I remember when we were going to play them in the Champions League final, and Everton fans were going, "Fucking your problem now." And we were like, "What do you mean?" And within a week, we were like, "Wow, yeah, they are crazy." But they are. But anyway, that's enough. We drew the game. I think the most impressive thing from our point of view is the fact we not only drew the game, we played well and we were competitive against arguably one of the best sides in the country in Europe.
Yeah, that was it. I mean, look, when I was obviously gutted when we went 2-1 down, but I turned to my mate and I said, look, if we end up losing this, I'll be upset, obviously, that we've lost. Yeah. But there's a big part of me that's like, I feel like we've got our Tottenham back, and it's given me a really nice feeling that like, you look at the Chelsea game, the Man United game, we were pathetic, absolutely pathetic, and lucky to get away with just getting destroyed 3-0 in both of them games. So it was this is against arguably a team that are the best in the league, and we matched them toe to toe, and I love that. I love it. It was so entertaining to watch, and obviously a win would have put the ice on the cake, but we didn't lose, and we went toe to toe with them, and what I found quite strange at the end is I looked at the stats and I'm like, they had like more possession, more shots, and it didn't feel like that watching the game.
No, it didn't, did it? I thought that. I was quite surprised because I put the half-time stats in our group, and because I think I posted it, but then didn't comment on it, which is what I meant to do, which is that really surprised me. It was like 70-30 for possession.
Yeah.
And they basically had double us in shots. I was like, damn.
Yeah.
I'm watching this game. Like, I watch these games intently. I don't. It feels like end-to-end bananas football, but I'm not seeing it. So basically, it was end-to-end, and they were getting their shots off. But it was end-to-end, and a lot of times we didn't. But I was really impressed. I mean, we were creating chances for fun in a game, and we haven't done that in a long time. And I know we did concede 2 goals, but I think overall we defended Salah brilliantly.
Yeah.
And I think the players involved need a lot of credit for that, and Mane as well. These guys have been tearing everybody apart in the league, and I mean really tearing them apart. And it's almost like we nullified them, but they've got enough quality elsewhere to grab a couple of goals, you know. But we did a great job. I was really happy, like genuinely, really over the moon with how we played.
Yeah, me too.
And it's been a long time.
Yeah,
long time since I had that. So yeah, thank goodness. Okay, so we are now moving on to our top 3 players section. Are you ready for this?
Top 3 players, right? Okay.
So this is the question that was asked to us is for me and you to name our top 3 players of all time for Tottenham. I kind of sat down with this. I was like, wow, this is actually really difficult. Like trying to come up with just 3 players from me. So I made it players that I have seen myself, not like Tottenham all time that I've heard of, and because otherwise I'd have just gotten really mixed up. And I've also made it less about probably their ability and more about just my personal attachment to them.
Sure.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so we're going to start with number 3. So in 3rd place for you, who do you have and why?
Right, so I've gone for 3, I guess you call them luxury players. And again,
okay,
I know there have been better players probably before I was alive. But they're just like you say. You're gonna think of players that are gonna come to mind, the ones that ones that you've seen. So yeah, I've gone complete luxury players for my 3, and in 3rd place I guess I put Ginola, David Ginola.
How much of that is down to the fact that when you used to go and watch that particular era of Tottenham, he was just the reason to go and watch.
Probably the only reason.
Yeah. And there's like people watching that and you're like, oh, you're joking. No, we're not joking. Like literally, he was the reason to watch us play for a season or more.
Yeah. I love just amazing player. Oozed charisma out of his skin, and just was just fantastic. I loved him. Loved watching him play.
No, I completely agree with that. Yeah, no, completely agree. The number 3 for me, very, very similar reasoning behind this, and you'll get it, and that is Paul Gascoigne, Gaza. Had to be.
Yeah.
Had to be. As a kid, he was the player at Tottenham who, as a young boy, I mean, I was 6, 7 years old when he was in an absolute best for us. I mean, he was phenomenal, and then Italian 90 happened, he was a global superstar and he was ours,
Yeah.
I know for not much longer, but he was, and it was, Gaza was something else. Gaza was something else to watch live as well. I remember watching an FA Cup game and he basically took it around an entire team with one boot on. It was Oxford.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, phenomenal player. Number 2, my friend. Who is your number 2?
Well, you've just described him in a nutshell.
Oh, really?
Gaza.
Love that. Yeah. I mean, it has to be, doesn't it? I mean, the personality as well. The guy's something else.
Yeah.
So yeah, okay. Number 2 for me, and there's a sentimental reason. My number 2 is Darren Anderson.
Okay.
Darren Anderson is a great football player, like genuinely a winger of great skill. His ability to cross a ball, I still don't think we've ever replaced. Set piece, he was great. He had an unfair reputation as a sick note, in my opinion, because up until very recently was our all-time Premier League appearance maker. He stayed at the club, He had offers to go. He stayed. He liked being at Tottenham. Loved living in London. His family. It was more important to him. Darren Anderson. That's my number 2.
Didn't we signed him from Portsmouth, didn't we?
We did. Yeah, we did. And he ended up finishing his career there, I think.
Yeah, that's right.
He sort of had a couple of clubs and then went there to finish it off. But yeah, he was a player I was always really proud of. Played for us, and he played for England as well, like Euro '96 and stuff. He was great. Yeah, just a player I always really enjoyed watching for us. And again, at a time where we weren't that good.
Yeah.
Okay then, so it's now the number 1. Anyone who listens to this show a lot will already know who mine is. Well, for you, my friend, who is your number 1?
I was going to say the same, Sam. Anyone who listens to the show all the time is going to know who I would say for my number 1 as well. And
go for it.
Like I've said, but loads of times before, he's the reason I fell in love with Spurs, which is Glenn Hoddle. He's the reason I fell in love with Spurs. And again, apologies for everyone who's listened from the start. They heard me say this before, but my dad used to work in for design consultancy. Years ago, so this was back in the 80s, and things weren't done on Macs like they are done nowadays. Everything was done on that. Is that stylofoam? I forget what it's called.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, and he did me a poster of Glenn Hoddle on that foam, and I remember blue tacking it up to my wall, and I was in bunk bed, so my brother in the bottom bunk and I was in the top bunk, and I'd put it right in front of me, and every day I'd wake up and I'd see him. He always never used to tuck his shirt in, did he?
No.
And I think it was the Hummel one with the triangles that used to go down and the Holston, and he just epitomised just what at the time. Because we were in the hunt for a lot of those years, for trophies, and we won quite a few trophies as well, but he was just a magician, an absolute magician on the pitch, completely. And like I've said before, I'd go and watch a game with my dad when he was playing, and he'd just be staring at him in awe, like what he could do with a football. And I absolutely love him.
No, love that, absolutely love it. God in socks, as he was known. Yeah. For me, number 1, Gary Mabbott has to be. As a Bristolian supporting Tottenham Hotspur, having a guy from Bristol go on to be the captain of Tottenham Hotspur during the time that I started supporting the club. I mean, who else could it be? who else possibly could be the man? And as I've got older and he's got older, I've got to learn more and more about him and realise just how much of a wonderful, brilliant human being he is. So yeah, for me, he will always be my number 1. He's also always my captain as well.
Yeah, do you know what? You're right as well. He's a lovely, lovely bloke. I mean, obviously it's well known that he's been taking these calls from people during COVID.
Yeah.
But he's been on. So obviously before games they interview ex-players, and I've seen a couple of interviews this season. I think he's been at the ground a couple of times, and. I think I might have said this before, but it's very rare to meet. Well, I've not met him, but to see someone that you just know he's a genuinely nice guy. Not someone that's pretending to be nice, or you can imagine they seem nice, but I think they've got a darker side to him.
Not like me at all.
No,
he's a genuinely nice
but
guy.
He just seems like a genuinely lovely bloke. Like really nice guy. Like one of the rare few ones in the world. And.
No.
Yeah, he's fantastic. Do you know what I was going to say as well? Sorry, I don't mean to steal your thunder with Gary.
No, go on.
But we had so before the Liverpool game, they had Michael Dawson. Michael Dawson. Now I feel bad because I liked him as a player, right? But I was always of the opinion that he was kind of getting a bit propped up by Ledley King, Right? No, I know it's controversial. Yeah. I feel bad now, especially as like Eric. Do you know what I think? Back in if social media had been a bigger thing back then than it is now, he'd have been like a bit of an Eric Dyer, where he's just getting criticised all the time. And I actually now looking back, because I hate seeing Eric Dyer getting criticised, so I would have been more I'd defended him more. But anyway, he was getting interviewed, and he had this little boy with him, I think called Louis. I think his little boy, he must have been about 5 or 6, just looked completely overawed by the whole situation. Massive Spurs scarf that was just drowning him. And Michael Dawson said that this was his first game ever at the stadium, and they said, has he had any choice being a Spurs fan? And he said, no, he hasn't had a choice at all. Right?
No.
But I absolutely love that. I mean, it's like Michael Dawson. I think we signed him from Nottingham Forest, didn't we, with Andy Reid, if I can remember right. So he was never brought up a Spurs fan. As far as I know, no. But he's a massive Tottenham fan now, and I love it. I absolutely love it.
If you ever want to just relive some of the fun of us in the Champions League, Sky had Michael Dawson in their studio for all of our Champions League games that season when we went to the final. His reaction to us grabbing the goal in Barcelona, which took us out of the group, and his reaction to us grabbing the goals, in Amsterdam, they're priceless.
Yeah,
this is absolutely priceless.
Oh, I love that.
The guy loses his damn mind, which is a lot of fun. But yeah, those are our top threes. A big thank you to whoever sent that in. I know your name, but I just can't find it at the moment. But big thank you. Hopefully that answers your question and you enjoyed the responses. It is now time for our Christmas game. We play this on any of the specials, and this is no different. It's time for the Tottenham squad number game. I always feel like I ought to do a little kind of da, 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 it's it's time for the game, come on! As it is, we got the old tension music ready. So the basics of the game, and you can play along, see if you can get them right without using Google. Yeah, Matt, move your phone out of your area.
Okay.
I'm going to give you a season. So for example, I could say, during the 2021-22 season, who wears number 5? Sure. That's an example, okay? Okay. But they're obviously going to be from years gone by. So it's going to be a bit of a thinker.
I've never been much of as you'll probably work out, as I found miserably in this one, that I've never been one for attention to detail. So,
well, we'll see how we get on. There's 5 of them. Are you ready?
Okay, let's go.
Okay. Matt, in the 2010-2011 season, who wore the number 30 shirt for Tottenham?
Oh, come on. 2010-2011, number 30.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Wow.
There are no lifelines available.
Okay, let's wild guess. Asuakoto.
Do you know that's not as mental as you might think. Okay. It's wrong.
It's wrong, yeah, but
the person who wore the number 30 shirts, Sandro.
Oh my God, the legend, Sandro. The
legend, the kung fu kicking lunatic who to this day says he never should have left the club.
Oh,
we're with you, man.
Don't do that. Don't make me all emotional, Sam.
Okay, I'll try not to. It's Christmas. Ho ho ho. Okay, number 2. In the 2014-15 season, who was Tottenham's number 1?
This I get the feeling this is going to be a trick. Hang on, 2014-15. So Lloris had been playing for the club since 2012. But I feel like this is going to be a trick question.
See, but are you overthinking it?
Oh, come on. Oh wait, I'll just go Lloris then. Go on, Lloris.
Your final answer is Hugo Lloris.
Go on. I don't want to overthink it.
You're correct, my friend.
Brilliant. Right, fantastic. There you go. I like that. That was a double trick question, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was trying to be a tricksy of it. Because, of course, when he joined, he wasn't number 1 initially, but this was the first season he put number 1 on his shirt.
He'd been at the club for, 2 or 3 years?
1.5 years, right, I think, because he joined in January.
Right.
Okay, now this one's a good one. In the 2012-2013 season, who wore the number 2 shirt?
2012-2013. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Is it too early for Kyle Walker? Is it too early for him?
That's the question, isn't it?
I think.
Would you like a clue on this?
Go on, go for it. Give us a clue. It's a Christmas clue.
I'll tell you what. This is a Christmas clue because I think what you are doing is exactly what I would do, and that's hear the number 2 shirt and try and think of a right back. So the clue is this person was not a right back.
Right, so that chucks Kyle Walker out. Number 2. Oh my God. God. Would you say the 2012-2013 season?
Yes, 2012-2013.
Oh, God, I can't think. Do you know what? I know.
When I say it, you're going to be annoyed.
Go on. I can't give you an answer. I would have gone Cole
Not even a
Walker.
guess. Not even just going to pick a player at random.
Casey Keller.
Ooh, so close. Do you know what?
When
He
did
was
he leave?
close. Same nationality. It was Clint Dempsey.
No way, Clint Dempsey.
Yeah, he wore number 2.
Of course, number 2. Why did he wear
It
that
used,
number?
It used to do my head in.
Why did he wear number 2?
I have no idea. Probably some superstitious crap. But yeah, no, he wore number 2. He drove me nuts. Number 2's the right back.
Yeah. What are you
yeah.
doing?
yeah. If you're not going to play right back, don't wear
Stop
it.
it.
Right, okay, so it's currently 2-1 to me.
Go on.
Not that I'm keeping score, but I am. The next question, and it's more up to date.
Oh, good.
In the 2016-17 season, probably one of our best seasons ever.
Yes, especially at White Hart Lane.
Oh, yes. Who wore the number 12 shirt?
Number 12. Right, okay. Wow. Again, like I say, attention
I
to...
feel like people are shouting this one.
Really?
Yeah, I feel like people are yelling this at the podcast.
Number 12?
I mean, it is Christmas. Would you like a clue?
Go for it, mate. Go for it.
This man loved spaghetti.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's a fantastic one. I appreciate that. And you've given it away now, mate. I'm sorry. It can only be the guy that scored the screamer at Anfield, Victor Wanyama.
Yeah. You are correct, sir. He had a great season
He did.
that season as well.
Is he still playing?
I honestly don't know. Someone said this to me the other day. They asked if I could do a thing on the podcast about where the players are now who have left under the Pochettino team. Where are they now?
Yeah.
I was like, don't care. They've left. They're dead to me.
Yeah. Okay, I love it.
And I could tell the person replied like, "Oh, okay."
Fair
I was
enough.
like, "Yeah, I should probably say more." It was a joke. It was a flippant remark. Yeah. Okay, so it's 2-2.
Right, decider.
We go down to the final question. In the 2009-2010 season, who wore the number 14 shirt for Tottenham Hotspur?
Okay. I'm gonna say Peter Crouch.
Your final answer.
Yeah, go on.
2009-10 season, wearing number 14. You're saying Peter Crouch.
Yeah, go on. Lock it in.
It's wrong.
Oh, cool.
The person who wore it was Luka Modric.
Oh, Modric. Fantastic.
Yes.
Yeah, I love it. Do you know what? When they
Victory is mine.
it's yours. You can have the trophy this Christmas.
Yay!
Do you know what? Before the game kicked off against Liverpool, they obviously show you loads of highlights, loads of goals,
Yeah.
and they showed that goal that Modric scored against Liverpool.
Yeah, decent.
And Seb was watching it, and he was like, he knew that Modric used to play for Spurs, but he was like, almost like, hang on, that's Modric in a Spurs shirt.
Yeah.
And I'm like, mate, he used to play for us.
yeah, and he was a bit good.
He was a bit good,
We all knew it, and the world didn't, and then the world found out, and we were like, crap.
Yeah. Well, back when Real Madrid actually had money.
Yeah. Back when they used to be able to just basically roll a truck of cash up to Daniel Levy's house and go, come on.
Yeah. Now they can't even afford the truck.
No. Yeah, not without doing a lot of borrowing, which apparently they are, which is a frightening thing in Spanish football, but never mind. Not my problem. Okay, so we now move on to the other question from last week, which is we were to name one player we would sign from every Premier League team, obviously other than us, with a maximum spend of 40 million. So we're going to go through them club by club. You ready?
Let's go, mate, let's go.
We start with a team called, Ars Now. Ars.
Not them.
Yeah, I don't know who they are. Did you pick a player from them that you would sign for under 40 million?
Did we have to? I mean, like...
No, with this one you could literally go, no.
No, go on, who did you pick?
I can't say his surname. Eddie Nikite.
Okay.
Nikite. Young striker who I watched first of all in an under-18 game years ago, and then he went on loan to Leeds. But yeah, I was always quite impressed with him. So if I had to pick one, I'd pick him.
Sure.
Also, he doesn't seem to like Arteta. There's been like some interview and some rumblings. So if I was to pick a player from them, I'd like to pick one that generally is ready to shat on the club.
Yeah. Stick the middle finger up as they walk away.
Exactly, yeah. I'd want one that literally wants to burn it down as he leaves, yeah. So that's from that club. I do just want to say, apologies to everybody, since we started recording, some roadworks have begun outside of my house. I can actually feel my whole house vibrating.
Blimey.
I'm going to do my best to edit the noise out so I can see it on my audio recording.
I haven't heard it my end, Sam. So
well, good.
Yeah.
That's a positive. But
Yeah.
I can see the lines bouncing.
So
Fair enough. I will try and edit out, but if it is there, really apologies. Okay, so moving on to Aston Villa, Laura's second team. Who did you pick from Villa?
I'd go for Ollie Watkins as a backup striker to Kane.
Ooh, you reckon you could get him for under 40 million?
Yeah, I reckon so. Yeah,
Yeah,
bit of
I
leave
think so,
him up.
Yeah, I went Tyrone Mings. I think Tyrone Mings on the left of a back three, central three would work quite well. Left-footed, English, homegrown.
Yeah, good
That's who I went.
shout.
Yeah, Tyrone. Dyer in the middle, and I'm Romero on the right. Okay, what about Brentford?
Brentford. Who have I gone for Brentford? Oh, Ivan Toney. I love that.
Yeah, our first match.
Yeah.
There we go. I went Ivan Toney as well.
There you go.
Literally the only player I wanted.
Snap.
I loaded the PremierLeague.com squad lists, and I'm just literally going club by club, and I got to a few of them, and I'm just like, none of them.
None of them.
I'm trying to find a player to improve this. Okay, but that's our first match, so I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
What about Brighton?
Brighton. I've gone for Tariq Lamptey. I think he's quite a good little player, and he's still very young.
Our second match.
Yay.
Dead happy with that. Yeah, I mean, we could say we matched on Arsenal as well because we both just went nope.
No.
But no, I did actually pick a academy player.
Well, do you know what? I would have said with Arsenal, if I would have had to pick someone, if someone put a gun to my head, I probably would have gone for Ramsdale because, I mean, I know we've got with Lloris sort of come into the autumn/winter of his career. You know, we kind of need a young upcoming goalkeeper, I think.
And finding an English homegrown one would be ideal.
Yeah,
on to Burnley, my friend. Who did you pick from Burnley? And this one that I find very tough.
Yeah, again, I know because it's hard to pick. Obviously, there's not 20 positions, so there's going to be somewhere I'm picking the same position. But I probably would have gone for another English goalkeeper, Nick Pope. I think he would have been a good.
Yep, we matched.
Oh, really?
Nick Pope, that's who I picked.
Okay,
yep,
fair enough.
That's Nick Pope. Yep, definitely Nick Pope. Okay, now the next one I find really difficult. Not so much because they didn't have players there I wouldn't like seeing at Tottenham, but because I was trying to keep it under the 40 million price
We're talking
tag.
Man City now, aren't we?
No, Chelsea.
Oh, Chelsea.
Yeah, we're going alphabetical. Yeah,
Right.
Chelsea.
Okay.
So I picked someone who I actually think we could realistically sign and is a good player.
Yes. Okay.
I have picked Andreas Christiansen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, who did you go for?
It's not a match for this one. So I've gone for a player who's been shockingly bad since they signed him, but with the Conte effect, could bring him back to his Leipzig form in Timo Werner.
Oh, yeah, great player. Yeah, and they probably would sell him for under 40 million.
Yeah, exactly.
Just get him away, please.
Yeah, please. £4 in a bobblehead.
The next one's Crystal Palace. Who did you go for from Palace?
Crystal Palace. Only because of how he's sort of playing recently, but I've gone for Conor Gallagher. I think he'd be a great signing.
He's on loan there.
Oh, is he really? Oh, sugar.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
He's on loan from Chelsea.
Oh,
I think.
right. Okay. In that case, then I'll go Zaha. I mean, it's gonna. I know it's the.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a Tottenham transfer window without us being linked to Zaha.
No, I still feel like he's still. Look, I know he's getting on a bit now, but I still feel like I just would love to see him in a Spurs shirt for a season or a couple of seasons.
Bit of an X factor to him. I went Eze.
Okay.
Yeah, the 40 million thing might be a bit of a push, but Eze, that's who I'd go with. Everton, another one that I found quite difficult.
Right, so this is where I know before we started recording, I said that I've gone sentimental on some of them, and this is a sentimental signing. So you know what I'm going to say, don't you?
I got an idea, but go on.
Only because Conte's there now, and he could do it. Like, look what he's done with Winks. Look what he's done with Dyer. Let's bring
Right.
Andros back. Tottenham boy
Andros
through and through. Let's bring it back to where he belongs.
Bring Andros home. I went Jordan Pickford.
Okay.
But yeah, bring Andros. I can see where you went there, and there will be an example soon of where I went similar.
Okay.
What about Leeds?
Leeds, Rafinha for Leeds for me.
I went Calvin Phillips.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
Rafinha.
I think he's one of those players that, like, you've got we've got similar players who could bring on, but I just feel like he's one of those players we could have on the bench who could make a difference, if we're sort of 70 minutes in and we're looking to change things up a little bit, decent attacking player.
Yeah, I agree. Another one I found difficult and I didn't think I would was Leicester.
Okay.
I looked through the squad and I was kind of like, I don't see that, and I ended up with Yuri Tielemans.
Yeah, funny enough, so did I.
Yeah.
So what's that? Our fourth match, is it?
That is our fourth match.
Fantastic.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah.
Liverpool is next.
Yeah, that's a difficult one, isn't it? Who did you go for?
40 million. I actually went, and I think people might roll their eyes. I actually went Jordan Henderson.
Yeah, so did I.
Yeah, there you go. It's funny because for a long time I didn't overly saw what he brought to the table. I kind of thought to myself, he's a bit of a journeyman in their team and he's been made captain. But in fairness, I saw that with England in the Euros, what he brings. And Liverpool fans were kind of like, see, you're finally seeing it. And I was like, yeah, actually I am. And his experience and his drive in the centre of the field would only be a benefit. So I went Jordan Henderson.
Yeah.
Man City. Now, Man City, find a player under 40 million, mate. I challenge you.
Yeah, that's the problem, isn't it? And this is my second sentimental signing. Because,
oh, no, you didn't.
Yeah, because, look, he's getting on a bit now, so we'll probably get him for under 40 million.
Yeah.
He's won loads of trophies now.
Yeah.
Bring him back. I mean, look, in the last game you talked about that season when we, it's sentimental. Let's bring Kyle Walker back. Come on, come back to where you belong.
Okay, I went Nathan Ake.
Okay.
Sneaky bastard, bring him back. Man United, and my pick on this one's random, but yeah, Man United, who would you go?
Yeah, again, it's wanting to play that under 40 million, isn't it? I mean, I was thinking, could we get Luke Shaw for under 40 million?
Maybe.
Possibly. That's my pick anyway.
Okay, Luke Shaw. I went De Beek. I reckon we could get him quite easily for under 40 million.
Okay.
And Man United have kind of shafted him, but he is a playmaker, so we do need that.
Yeah.
Another one I struggled with, Newcastle. Who did you go with in Newcastle? Personally, I think there's only one choice, but who did you go
You're
with?
probably thinking the same one as I don't know if we'd get him for under 40 million, but for me, it's Alan Saint-Maximin.
Yep, same guy.
It's the only player that I know that's any good.
Yeah. That was literally like entertainment factor. It has to be him.
Yeah.
Alan Saint-Maximin for me as well. Norwich.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind a bit of. I was going to choose. Freaking hell, striker.
Pookie.
Pookie, that's the one. But then I was thinking, do you know who we've been after? We was after last time they got relegated. Max Aarons. Yeah, that's probably who I go for.
I went Cantwell.
Okay.
I don't think either Aarons or Cantwell have acquitted themselves that well this season, to be honest with you. But that kid's like a bag full of potential, so that was who I went. Southampton, I picked the player that I will die on this hill forever for Tottenham, and that's James Ward-Prowse.
Yeah, I picked him for one reason only. It's because at the moment we don't since Eriksen's gone, we don't have a free kick taker.
Oh, so you picked Ward-Prowse as well?
I did, yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I'm delighted to hear that. Now, talking about sentimental, who did you pick from Watford?
Yeah, we could have had a couple of options there, couldn't we, for sentimental?
Oh, for me, there's only one, but I'm telling you, he ain't coming back to play. He's going to be a coach for the academy.
Yeah,
I'd bring home Danny Rose.
Yeah, do you know what? I picked him as well, and but almost like. Yeah, purely sentimental. I mean, like
come home here. Here's a giant hug.
Yeah. So we'd have Kyle Walker and Danny Rose back. Yeah, let's bring them both back, eh?
Okay, the next one's West Ham, and again, there's a serious debate on whether I'd get this guy for 40 million, but due to his contract length, I'm willing to argue it with anybody. I'd go Declan Rice.
Yeah, I haven't picked him because I thought we couldn't get him for 40 million. But like, I don't know if we'd get this guy for 40 million either, but I would have gone for Thomas Suchek because I think he is just completely... He's revolutionised that team, hasn't he?
He has, very good player. So finally, Wolves. Who would you pick from Wolves?
Oh, Raul Jimenez for me, if we get him for 40 million.
Jimenez, not a bad show. I went Ruben Neves.
Yeah, they've got some decent players there, haven't they?
Yeah, a couple of good players there. Yeah, definitely. Okay, so that is one player from every team, and we matched up on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
There you go.
There you go.
Not too bad.
Yeah, that ain't too bad at all. Probably would have matched up on more if we weren't, being sentimental.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a Carl Walker. What are you doing? Anyway, so that was that. So now it is time for us to head across to questions, comments from social media.
Now it's time for your comments from our social media.
Okay, we're going to open with the good people at Instagram, as that is our tradition here on the show. And the good people at Instagram, which is run by the lovely Laura, so Merry Christmas, Laura, if you're listening. Well, I know you listen because you often have a go at me for talking about your OnlyFans account and not giving out the address. No, I'm joking. She doesn't have an OnlyFans. Stop emailing me. Okay, Zaphod34. Great name, Zaphod. Are we going to appeal being given a 3-0 loss in the Europa Conference League or just take the punishment? It's kind of a funny thing, this. The statement was issued by UEFA much later than it was expected, and the club issued a statement immediately basically saying, okay, we don't agree, but we accept it. And now we're not accepting it. It almost feels like someone at the club had that prepared as kind of like alright, we know what's going to happen. And Daniel Levy sat there and went, do you know what? No. I'm not going to accept it. We are formulating an appeal to the Court of Arbitration for Sport. I think it's less about being let back into the competition and more about financial compensation.
It's the unfairness of it, isn't it? It's the unfairness of it that I don't like.
It's a weird situation. I said this because Rennes are basically getting away with being assholes over this.
Yeah.
Because they were already through. Vitesse is who I feel for. Vitesse now, because we've made it known we're going to appeal it, are now back to, right, we don't know if we're still in Europe or not. And they were very gracious and very, this terrible situation, we want to wish everyone at Tottenham well. Rennes just basically didn't care, didn't give a crap. They were inconvenienced because they had to travel here, turn around and travel back. Oh, boo-hoo.
It's very interesting that Rennes are French and Vitesse are Dutch, isn't it?
Yeah.
Read into that what you like.
Read into that what you like. Why we ever built a tunnel to that godforsaken place, I'll never know. But anyway, we did. Right, so that's that. Nico_M17. Poor bugger, was named after a motorway. Who should we sign this January? That's a loaded thing. I can't give you a name of a player. I can give you positions that I think we need to add to.
We're giving you 20 names.
Yeah.
Or 19 names. Yeah. 19 names.
What more do you want,
exactly.
Man? Yeah, we've given you. For me, if nothing else happens, I want to see us sign a striker.
Yeah.
And one of a level. Gregor Raziak style will infuriate me beyond belief because it's literally a waste of a transfer fee and waste of everybody's time.
And Andy Booth, there we go.
Yeah, God, Andy bloody Booth. Oh, we'll get Fraser Campbell in on loan. Yeah. Awful. Anyway, I want to see a striker. You could argue a right wing back, possibly with Matt Doherty being awful still. And the jury's still very much out. Well, he's still settling. Emerson Royale, I think there's enough there potential-wise that we can see a good player there. But right now, I think that position could well need to be strengthened as well. I'd still obviously love a creative midfielder in the side, an Ericsson replacement. But We shall see.
Yeah.
Diasporian1 says, great game against Liverpool. We all felt this would be a loss. Excited about the coming games. Do you believe Winks and Dele will have opportunity to continue to impress with the COVID players coming back? I think if they continue to improve, their contribution to our depth and ability to play different styles improves us immensely. Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Yeah.
I think I know this is a personal opinion, but I've always been of the belief that as a squad, having Dele in the squad, having Winks in the squad, gives the squad options and gives the squad depth. The issue comes is that when they've been called upon, they've not performed. Now, there are lots of factors to this. It's very difficult to play a game, miss a game, be in and out all the time. I think you struggle to get your natural rhythm. I think some players are also big confidence players. Dele Alli under Pochettino was confident in those seasons. You could just see the kid, he tried everything every game, and a lot of stuff didn't come off, but because some stuff did, everyone forgets. Now, a lot of stuff isn't coming off, and he isn't getting that rub every now and again, which means everyone's focusing on, he misplaced this, he did this. If he cracked in a volley from 30 yards, I guarantee you no one's talking about the 4 misplaced passes before it.
Yeah, completely.
And that's the difference. That is literally the only difference. The guy's confidence isn't there. He takes that chance against Liverpool, and odds are the guy is probably, going to go on a run of form then. Do you know what I mean? It's like you can tell he is a big confidence player. And Winks as well. Winks in that game, the longer that game went and the more stuck in he got, and the more kind of I'm I'm looking up, this is Liverpool, I'm being pressed crazy. But I'm playing. I'm doing well. This is going well. The more through balls he was trying, you could see that clearly Conte said to him, "Get your head up, kid. You've got the ability. Back yourself." So yeah, you're right. I mean, it does give us more options. The one thing I've got to say is kind of like a caveat is, I don't want us to get carried away with they played one good game, therefore they're back and they're brilliant.
I was going to say that it was just one game, wasn't it?
They've been in poor form for some time. I am of the belief that we had to give everyone a clean slate and let Conte get stuck into them. And if we are now seeing the emergence of them in his system with his coaching, and they are back to a level like they were against Liverpool consistently, which I think Conte said about Dele, it was one game. If he shows me this consistently, wow, great. But at the moment, it was one game. And in this system of Conte, you do need people who make intelligent runs, people who are going to time themselves. And regardless of what you think about Dele and his ability, that's what that guy does. He arrived for that opportunity against Liverpool when no one else in the squad was there. He created that. Kane made the break to the near post. He took the defender with him, and Dele knew and was smart enough to make that run. There's no one else in our team that does that. And a different day that goes in. But I'm interested to see where it goes with them. I don't like writing people off. I never have done, and I feel like I got to that stage with both of them, Winks and Dele. And seeing that Liverpool game was a real big reminder. But then, like you say to me after games sometimes, your dad can be an absolute Debbie Downer.
Yeah.
And it's oh, come on. Well, I enjoyed that. Why are you doing that? Yeah. My brother has a habit of doing that. And my brother messaged me, and literally all it said was, I can see some people have got their shop window forming. It's don't do that.
I don't.
Maybe right, but shut up.
I don't know. I can kind of. I can see. Okay, it could potentially be the reason, but I'd like to think it's bought into Conte's mindset.
I'd like to think so. Yeah, I'd like to think so. And they're better coached now.
Yeah.
Jesus, are
much
they
better coached now?
Yeah. So. We went 2-1 down, and the team knew exactly what to do.
Yeah.
Their heads didn't drop,
Yep.
Their body language was good, and they got straight back into the game and equalised. And you could see from their celebration, it was the belief, this is working. This is good.
Do you know what I love as well, which I haven't seen for a long while, is if you looked at all the social media posts afterwards, they were disappointed with a draw.
Yeah.
They were disappointed with a draw.
Yeah, they were. I do want to point out that Eric Dyer tweeted afterwards, hope everyone has a Merry Christmas after the final game, and every reply was, we're playing again on Wednesday, Eric. Yeah. Don't want to break this to you. So if Dyer's not in the squad, he knew something we didn't.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Yeah, bye all. I'm off on holiday. Ho, ho, ho. Right, so over to Facebook, Liam Hickey says, Merry Christmas, guys, and keep up the great work.
Merry Christmas, mate.
New year, new Spurs. What can we hope for going forward in transfer window and remaining games? Win more than we lose, score more than we concede, and sign the best players in the world.
Yeah, there you go. I'll take that.
Yeah, yeah, okay. All right. All joking aside, Liam, thank you for you messaging on a regular basis, and we really appreciate it. Merry Christmas to you and your family. Rick Barnfather. That's an amazing name, Rick. I want to know, when will Liverpool stop moaning about Sunday's game? Never. They will never stop moaning. They are on their own. They really are. Yeah. Michael Joseph says, cheers to the folks at the page and cheers to the people interacting with the page. The conversations are mostly insightful and positively engaging. Thanks for another year of great podcasts. Keep up the great work. Shout out to the sponsor. Don't forget to shave your balls. Thanks, Michael. You couldn't have said it better ourselves. Matthew Fleming says, what are your thoughts on our exit from the ECL? I'm personally disappointed to see us fall out of Europe, but can't help but think it will help our fixture pile up later in the season. Merry Christmas to all the Spurs News team and a Happy New Year.
Thank you.
Thank you, Matthew. Same to you. We've just kind of covered that, the Conference League. My own personal opinion is I never like to see us go out of Europe. I know a lot of people just want to dump these competitions because it's not the Champions League. My view is go and win them. If we're that good and it's beneath us, win the bloody thing.
Yeah.
I don't understand the desire to, we're not a trophy-laden club. We're not a team that every year wins the league, wins the FA Cup, and therefore we look at the League Cup as like some lesser trophy. For me, give me the trophy.
Yeah.
I'm kind of disappointed we're out, but I also do just want to say we are out. We've only got ourselves to blame. If we'd played better in the earlier games, we wouldn't be in the situation we're in. We'd have been in Rennes' situation, which is top of the group, and therefore it didn't matter that the game got postponed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
So I do think we ought to say that. Stefan Cruz Alvarez, also known as Stefan, says, as always, a big thank you for a year of podcasts. I want to know which player would be on the naughty list or which one would be on the nice list. That's a good question.
The naughty list.
Well, yeah, Harry Kane's on the naughty list for me. He's on the naughty step. He's got a dunce hat on. I'm not talking to him still. Yeah. There you go. That's an easy one for me. What about you? Is there anyone on the naughty list for you?
I'm struggling to think of anyone at the moment because we're riding the crest of a wave at the moment.
Nice. You're so nice. You're so kind. Put Matt Doherty on it just for being a bit crap at the moment.
Yeah, there you go.
Who's on your nice list?
Well, mine's the opposite to yours. Harry Kane. It's back amongst the goals again.
Sorry, mate. Sorry, the thing broke up and it sounded like you said something really crazy. So do you want? Yeah, did you start drinking? Did you nail a few before? Was this it's the Christmas episode, 9 a.m? No problem. Here's a whiskey. No, you can't. No, come on. He wanted to leave us. He hates us.
Yeah, the key's in the word wanted. He's changed now.
No.
He's on the nice list now.
It's January transfer window form. Get your head out your ass, Matt. Okay. Naughty list I've done. Nice list, Sonny, because Sonny's the nicest guy in the world.
Yes.
And therefore he is on the nice list, definitely, 100%.
Did you see that picture of him cuddling Klopp? It's like his dad. He's so pleased just to...
Oh, hi Dad. Yeah, Klopp's like 6'10" or whatever. It's ridiculous. Final question then for the Christmas episode. Tom Perks, looking forward to the show. I hope you're all wearing your Christmas jumpers. I am actually. I'm freezing frigging cold and I am wearing a Christmas jumper. It may be a long question or topic, but I'd love to hear your thoughts on the question from last week. Well, you were the one who asked us for one player from every team, so there you go, we've done that. He says, Merry Christmas to the Spurs News Pod admins and their families. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. You
Merry
too,
Christmas.
mate.
And what a great way to end it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is it. The podcast obviously will continue rolling. The games are being played. West Ham, we are actually recording this on the 22nd, so the game against West Ham hasn't happened yet, which is why we've not talked about it. So we're in that awkward position again where we're recording before the game. So we could do with doing our old tradition of we record if we lost, record if we win.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do a couple.
Yeah, okay. So imagine we've lost to West Ham in the League Cup. Go.
Right. Mate, do you know what? Look, we lost to them. It was a shit game. But Conte's concentrating on the league. It's only the League Cup, isn't it? You know, we've sacked off that conference. We've sacked off the other stupid competition. Let's focus on it.
It's a good idea. You could tell by the team selection that he clearly looked at it and went, let's sacrifice this. Let's focus. Let's focus in on the league and trying to get into the top four.
Yeah.
You can tell.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, you know, West Ham, you know, they get their day in their sun every now and again. They're enjoying it at the moment. We know they'll be back as relegation fodder within a season or two. So, yeah, it doesn't really matter.
Let them have their cup final win, you know.
Yeah. All good. Okay, right. All right, so there's that. Now is if we won, okay?
Oh, mate, what a game. Look, do you know what? We're going to win this trophy. We're going to win it. Do you know what?
The best trophy as well. It is the trophy that means the most to everyone, and you can tell.
Yes! And look, we're going to win this. We'll win the League Cup. It's going to be a catalyst for us under Conte to win loads of trophies.
Yeah.
Now, we're in the semi-final now. Yeah. Let's hope we get those dirty scumbag Gooners, beat them, get to the final, win that, and look, the trophy's ours. I'm buzzing.
And clearly, the manner of the victory as well makes us the best team now.
Oh,
definitely.
Completely.
Everyone's just looking at this. Yeah, totally good. Awesome. Brilliant. There we go. Yeah, I mean, we've covered that. Yeah. I'll just edit it in whichever way it goes. It's fine. Yeah. But mate, Merry Christmas to you. Merry Christmas to your family. I hope you have a lovely time. Big thank you to everybody who continues to listen throughout the year. This is our third, I think, or fourth Christmas special now, which is kind of crazy. We've been doing this that long now. But like I said, the show will continue as games are coming thick and fast all through the festive season and into the new year. We'll keep rolling with it. Our next break, if you like, unless something happens like COVID again, please know, will be next time there's an international break. But other than that, we'll be here weekly. So everyone, you look after yourselves, have a great Christmas, stay safe, and I'll speak to you again very soon.
Happy Christmas, mate.
Thank you for listening to the Spurs News Christmas Special. We hope you had a lovely Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Bloody freezing, isn't it?